and I'm also within a particular locality, and I see what is going on there, one cannot hide his party colorization. Now we go down there. I'm aware this person is an NDC person, this person is an MPP person. So people down there, even though it has not been legalized, but you see those things going on there. So if at a point in time we all have to realize that this is what's happening, so let's then make it constitutional. I think it's a step in the right direction, which we don't have to hide it. But I'm also seeing something. You see, it's going to bring a lot of pressure on those people who will be seeking for that position. When you want to become a DCE, even at your local level, let's see now, even those people who are being appointed, you go to the office, the kind of pressure and the demands that comes on them each day. Now, power is being given to the local people to elect their own DCE. You can imagine the kind of pressure that will come on them. See, I think this particular change or amendment that you want to do is very good, but it has its looming effect on those people who will be seeking for such positions. Because as a DCE, everybody will expect you to do something to please him or her.
I think the yes vote is needed, because when you look at the trend as from 1957 thereabout, politicians have been through the yes. They've been in that line. They've gone through undergrounds, trying to back politicians into those positions. And I don't think when we allow politicians to go in, then we are working with the devil. No, it's not like that. Indirectly, we are trying to get their attention to look at that point too. There is no bad situation we can see from that point.
Referendum, yes. The reason is very simple. This particular referendum for me, but the fact of the matter is that if you study the trend of elections in the local areas, they have always taken a partisan position. You understand that? But it makes it extremely difficult for us to take them to task, because they claim they are not running on party lines. But you see most of them, even sometimes party executives, contesting positions to be elected to, what is that, the assemblies. You understand that? So it's just like this particular referendum is not giving meaning to what is already on the ground. Because as far as I am concerned, if anybody tells me that we are not running a partisan local government elections, I would disagree with the person. You understand that? Even some areas, if you are not a party person, they won't allow you to even, contest the elections. So if the referendum, at least we are able to vote and then change the law to allow people to run on party lines, I think for me it will be better. It will improve accountability, transparency, and then the people, they will be able to take people to task.
I am absolutely for no. The reason being that the provisions as it stands now have its own mechanisms of whipping people who are inputting political decisions into our local assembly elections. They are not supposed to be. It is supposed to be non-partisan, and it has made provisions that if anybody is found culpable, the necessary sanctions should be applied. And so, if people are saying that already the system is political and therefore we have to open the lid for all persons to come on board so that political parties will join. Now, look at the situation that the country goes in when we are conducting our national elections. A lot of fighting goes about. And when it comes to be that we vote yes and therefore we change that entrenched position, what will happen is, my brother, it will be that the assembly members will no more be accountable to their constituents, but to their political leaders.
I am saying that we should vote no. We all know the polarization that is happening at the national level in terms of these political parties, NDC and MPP. Do we want the same level of polarization to be rippled down to the district level? If we do, what it means is that we are going to have an MCE or a DCE who belongs to a political party, and the national government, who is also ruling from Accra, will also belong to a different political party. This will bring conflict in terms of development.
So some Ghanaians there that we engaged with, and let me say a very big thank you to Nana JC Owusu, that is NGO. He went out there, he engaged with them, and he brought us that very report of the thoughts of some Ghanaians about the referendum that is to take place on the 17th of December. Now, listen carefully to that very report. It looked as if they no had it. But we're here in the studios of Love 99.5. We have got two lawyers with us. Now, these lawyers themselves have their own stance. One of them is going to vote yes on the 17th, the other is going to vote no on the 17th. But for those of us who have not really made up our minds as whether to vote yes or no, or even we've made up our minds to vote yes or no, but we're confused and we want some more education, they're here to help us understand what the situation really is. We're streaming live on Facebook, that is on LUV 99.5. Just go onto our Facebook platform and you see these two lawyers already seated, ready to debate, ready to do battle, ready to do their presentation. Lawyer Kwabena Obri Yeboah is a private legal practitioner, and he's also a pharmacist as well. And he's right here in the studios of Love 99.5. For him, yes is what Ghanaians need to vote for on the 17th. Hi, Lawyer Obri Yeboah. Good morning to you.
Hi, David. Good morning to you. I hope you are doing well.
I'm very well. Only I've missed you.
Wow.
And it feels good to see you again.
I have the opportunity to listen to you every morning.
See you. Good to have you with us in the studios of Love 99.5. And you are for a yes vote on the 17th.
Yes, I do. I think that is the way to go. I think we've strangled ourselves as a nation by hoodwinking ourselves into just having purported political activity at the apex in terms of national activities, and then we delude ourselves when we are getting down to the local level and we say no, let's assume that we can't engage in political activity down there. I mean, for me, I think it's not proper.
We'll hear more from you shortly.
Yes.
And Lawyer Daniel Bewell, but I would love to call him Bewell. He's an adjunct lecturer at the KNUST Law Faculty. He's also a legal practitioner. He's for no. Hi, lawyer.
Hi, David.
How are you doing?
I'm good. And you?
I'm good as well. Is your no just no or a big no?
It's a very big no.
A very big no. A very big no.
Yes.
And you're here to tell us why?
Yes.
And you think that you can convince people who, as of now, believe that a yes is the way to go?
I don't need to convince people. People are already convinced that they have to vote no, because the evidence shows that Ghanaians are not ready for that kind of thing at the local level. Yes.
At the local level. All right, so at this point in time, let me rope into the conversation Nana JC Owusu. NGO, good morning once again.
Good morning, David.
All right, so between the yes and the no, who should set the ball rolling?
Okay, so David, let's start with yes.
Okay.
And then and then we have the no's,
come up later.
Yeah.
All right, so what it is this. We're going to give lawyer Kwabena Obri about 10 minutes to speak to the issue of why he thinks that Ghanaians ought to vote yes on the 17th of December during the referendum. Lawyer, 10 minutes starts now. And listen, you can send us your voice notes to 0554 031 192. Are you for a yes or you're for a no, and why? 0554 031 192. Again, listening to the lawyers in the studios, if you sound convinced at the end of their presentation, send us more voice notes and let's get to know whether they've been able to convince you so you're able to change your mind. Lawyer Briaboy, your 10 minutes starts now.
Yes, thank you, David, once again. And then also, yesterday, new executives of the Pharmaceutical Society of the Ashanti region was sworn in. So this morning, I'll say congratulations to all the new executives and then all the members that were able to make it to the meeting for the executives to be sworn in. Yes, David, coming to the issue, I think the nation has an opportunity to correct a wrong which was perpetrated on the people of Ghana when the Constitution was promulgated some over 25 years ago. And clearly you see our Constitution make it multi-party democracy. So the idea is that parties must be engaged in the activity. So if you go to the Constitution, Article 55, the 3 is what we are trying to, or we intend to amend at the referendum. But we realize that Article 55 makes provision for political parties, and that is actually how it is headed, political parties. And then 155.1 says that the right to form political parties is hereby guaranteed. So the framers of the Constitution envisaged a situation whereby there will be multi-party activities, that is people having a right to form political parties and join political parties. And actually, I think when we are talking about democracy, we cannot do democracy without political activity. In every country where democracy has thrived and has gone well for the people and has helped in the development of the people have gone the way whereby they use political parties to engage in the democratic activity. And then the two indicate that 55 to every citizen of Ghana of voting age has a right to join a political party. So I think even clearly, if anything, we must even go further to begin to conscientize our people that once you are at the age of maturity or majority, you begin to think about which party you engage in and which party you want to be associated with. So my point is that our constitution envisage the principle of political activities, and therefore if it's allowed at the national level, then it must be allowed to get down to the bottom so that activities of political parties will be felt at the grassroots. And therefore, for me, people must, it's an opportunity, and hence people must go in there and vote for yes, so that we can amend the Article 55.3 and David, listen to 55.3. Subject to the provisions of this article, a political party is free to participate in shaping the political will of the people. That's 55.3. That's what we are trying to amend. Shaping the political will of the people to disseminate information on political ideas. So, and then it is at the tail end that it is said that political parties are not, that is if I conclude, social and economic programs of a national character and sponsor candidates for election to any public office, either done to district assemblies or local government units. So one will say, why is this a shift when it comes to the three at the tail end? They say that political parties should sponsor candidates, engage in all that, but when it comes to the tip or at the bottom, we say that political parties are not supposed to partake. And I think that is what is wrong with this constitution. And once we have an opportunity, we must correct. And I think people have always been speaking about this issue of our constitution not being active. And per decision of a judicial decision, we have known constitution to be a living organism, and we think that if you amend this portion and we allow political parties to engage at the local level, it will help in advancing the cause of this nation. And two, why do we complain that parties are not visible at the local level? I think, David, you've heard about this argument that we don't see party structures at the local. How can we see party structure at the local level when they are not allowed to be engaged in political activities? There's no incentive. And therefore, if we intend to see political activity at the local level, structures there, then we must get political parties to be involved at the local level, so that there will be a reason for people to set up offices, for people to meet. Not just to meet for sharing of money that has come from national. Let's not deceive ourselves. People meet because, and we have heard that there's some loan facility that's going to be granted at the national, that's going to come from national. So let's meet and take our portion. No. If you look at the 55.3, we are supposed to meet at the local level, discuss political ideas, develop political ideologies. We also say that political parties are used as just political machines. They engage in elections and they go to sleep. Why would they not go to sleep? Because there's no incentive at the local level in engaging political activity. And I think that is a major reason why this must be changed as well. And then the system that we are running, I think, is a deception, because as one of the voice note, one of the speakers said, they know at the district assembly level, they know those who belong to party A and those who belong to party B. So why are we deceiving ourselves? We are running a deception. We are perpetuating deception on ourselves. And I think we have opportunity to change that perception. And clearly, this referendum offers that opportunity. And I encourage Ghanaians to take this opportunity and change it for the better. Because, David, we'll be having Kumasi worship on 22nd. Like most churches, people know those who belong to party A and party B. And at the district assembly, people know those who belong to party A or party B. If you look, let's look at the upcoming election that is coming. Most of the candidates have branded themselves with the colors of these parties. If you're an objective observer, just run through town, see the posters, and you know that this candidate belongs to this party and this candidate belongs to the other party. So clearly, people are engaging in political activism at the ground level. But we have a law, we have the constitution which is tying their hands. And then, so why should we allow ourselves? And we are saying that Ghana has gone this way of political activities or political engagement, and most nations have gone this way, and they have used grassroots party politics to transform their nation, and we as a country cannot do otherwise. So this is an opportunity for us. Let's give our people stake and let political activism take place at the local level, and let our people benefit fully, so that we can have a system that runs through from the top to the bottom. And then also it will groom people, so that when we are choosing ministers, head of agencies at the national level, we have gotten people who have been groomed from the local level to the national level to contribute their quota to the development.
Thank you very much, lawyer Obri Yeboah. That is a lawyer, Kwabena Obri Yeboah. He's a private legal practitioner. He spoke about the upcoming referendum. He says Ghanaians should go out there and vote yes. Now, for those of you who have had at the back of your mind to vote no on the 17th, I'm hoping that maybe he's been able to convince you to change your mind and vote yes on the day. But there's another gentleman, he's also a lawyer, and he says, well, it's a no for him, and other Ghanaians should also choose no. Now, his name is lawyer Daniel Bewell. He's an adjunct lecturer, KNUST Law Faculty. He's also a legal practitioner. Daniel, let me give you some 10 minutes. Let me hear you. Why do you think that it should be a no for Ghanaians on the 17th?
Thank you very much, David. If I may say good morning to your listeners out there.
And before you go on, forgive me, we're streaming live on Facebook. So those of you who logged on, I'm sure you saw lawyer Kwabena Obri Yeboah do his presentation on why we should vote yes. It's now the turn of lawyer Daniel Bewell. We are live on Facebook on LUV 99.5. Like our page, share the video, drop comments or questions if there are any, and I'm sure the lawyers will respond to it for you. Yes, so Daniel, let's hear you.
Yes, I must commend my learned senior. He's my senior at the bar for his argument in support of a yes vote. But unfortunately, I'm not convinced by the argument that he has canvassed this morning. David, by way of education, if I may indicate that the purpose of this referendum is in relation to elections of members of the district assembly, not the DCs and then the metropolitan district executives. The reason being that the election of assembly members is directly in relation to Article 51, as my learned senior already referred to, and that is an entrenched provision in the Constitution, an entrenched provision in the sense that we need a direct involvement and participation of the people to be able to change it. And so if it were just about the DCs, then the government can just pass, Parliament can pass a bill to change it, and that is under Article 243. Now, having said that, my argument has been and will always be that there is no basis for which we are proposing that Article 51 of the Constitution should be amended. Why are we proposing that assembly members should be elected? The reasons given
on party lines.
The reasons given so far are that this is something that is already happening on the ground, and that we need to ensure that party structures or the party structures are visible at the local level, as my senior indicated this morning. But of course, is this the only way that we can ensure that party structures are visible at the local level? Can the political parties themselves take it upon themselves to make sure that they build these structures and ensure that they are visible at the local level? And secondly, when we are talking of party politics, we should distinguish that from political activities. My senior sought to argue that the Constitution itself recognizes political activities, and for that matter, we should allow this amendment to go through. Political activities, as defined or as described, is any predicament that will lead to varied opinions as to what people think is the right decision to take. But party politics is where we have party ideologies being at the forefront in terms of what decisions should be taken in relation to a particular matter. That is different. So we admit even in churches, we have political activities, because when you are doing your church elections, people will have to convince you why you should vote for them. But of course, the argument I have this morning is that, do we have a problem with the current laws in relation to our district assembly elections or local government systems? And the answer is no. We don't have a problem. Because if you look at the District Assembly Election Act 1994, Act 473 as amended, it has actually criminalized party politics at the District Assembly election level. And we also have that at the Local Government Act, a provision providing that if you stand on a party line, or if you use party symbols or party colors to champion your campaign for election into the District Assembly, you could be penalized by cancellation of your nominations. And if a political party is also found to be engaged in such activities, could be fined after such a party has been convicted. Now, do we have a problem in enforcing this law? Have we tried enforcing this law and we have not been able to do that? The answer is no. There have not been an incident where this law have been evoked in terms of trying to apply it. So why do we now say that because we already have these activities going on and those who are supposed to enforce the law are not enforcing it, because of that we want to celebrate, if you like, the breach of the law by an amendment to Article 55 of the Constitution? Why do we say that? Because the basic principle on amendment is that you must identify a defect in the law, or that you must identify a gap, or you must identify that the application of the law is cumbersome or difficult, or in a way will lead to absurdity, and so you want to cure those defects. And so when you are amending a law, you are looking at a mischief that you are trying to cure. But as we speak, we have not been pointed to any mischief or any defects in these laws that the said amendment are seeking to cure. Now, David, my next point is on the chapter 20 of the Constitution. It is titled Decentralization and Local Government. Now, it is not the purpose of district assembly elections or involvement in the governance system is not just decentralization, but local government. We want the people to feel part of the process. And this process, this local governance system, is linked to our traditional systems, that chiefs are not elected. Elders in the community are not elected based on party lines. And so we want this local governance system to have a direct link with our chieftaincy system. So why do we now want to decouple that idea behind the Freeman's intention to take away party politics in our district assembly elections? Do we have any challenges in enforcing that law, or do we have any challenges in following that particular pattern? We don't. And David, I will tell you that if we succeed in amending this particular article, then we will have similar situation as we have in our parliaments today. We have very intelligent people at parliament, but they are not able to debate and vote on issues based on their individual intelligence. They have to follow party ideologies. This morning I was listening to you, and then one of the members of parliament, Ras Mubarak, was asked to apologize for taking a stand in relation to this, because his party says you should vote no, and he is saying that he thinks a yes vote is good. So if you allow political parties to sponsor district assembly elections, they have control over the members of the district assembly, and you must necessarily make your argument or vote based on what your party position is. And so that objectivity will be taken away from our district assembly system. And of course, we know what happened with our national politics because of this party politics. Corruption will breed, because the party will have to, the party will have to get funds to sponsor you. And how do they get the funds? They get funds from people who have the money. And so those who have the money will need to get contracts to be able to recoup whatever investment that has been made. And so at the district level, if we succeed with this amendment, then our district assembly members will be awarding contract based on whether this person is my party member. And so the corruption we are trying to fight will find its way into our district assembly arrangement. And so I think that this is a dangerous proposal and this amendment must not go through. And if it goes through, then this country is finished. That is my argument.
Well, thank you very much. And I'm sure that you heard from both lawyers. Let me give them a minute each. Is there anything you want to rebut on what you heard?
Yes. Let me with respect to my friend on the other side. Yes, clearly he's operating on certain fear which is unfounded. And I think that is what affected the framers of the Constitution somewhere 1992 when this Constitution was being promulgated. That when you allow the people to participate on political lines, it will create conflict, it will create confusion, but I don't think there's any basis for that.
Okay.
And then also this idea of strengthening political parties at the local level will also make political parties have activity all year round. Because now we have a situation whereby when a party wins power, the party that loses power goes to sleep. Because clearly there's no expression of their political ideas anywhere in this part of the country. But when we have the system of governance, we have a political party like the way in America we have blue state, we have red state. Here we have NDC regions, MPP regions. So at least these political parties can have some activities at those other regions. And then also he made
Lawyer, I wish I could allow you to go on, but time is not on. Please forgive me.
No problem.
Is there anything? Do you want a minute?
Yes, just to add. For me, I think the whole purpose for this amendment, that is my opinion. I think it is just for the central government to have its way with its appointees to become DCs, because we have had instances where the assembly members who vote against government appointees in terms of who they want to be the DC. So if they have control at that level, when they appoint, then they just give a rubber stamp to whatever.
Give us a call, listeners. 0322083596. You've heard from lawyer Daniel Bewell, and he's an adjunct lecturer at KNUST Law Faculty. He's also a legal practitioner. He was for no on the referendum coming up on the 17th of December, and lawyer Kwabena Obriabua, also a private legal practitioner, is for yes. Have they convinced you on any decision to make on the 17th? Let's hear from you. Give us a call on 0322083596. Kofi, good morning.
Good morning, Dave. How are you?
I'm well.
Yeah, I'm speaking my mind and not what two of them have said. I've also got mind of my own. And I am saying that it is big no. And I have 4 reasons. 1, quickly. It is a campaign message of Akufo-Addo in 2016, and he wants to fulfill it. I recently heard him said, if they vote no, it means his government is not popular. So he's doing this on the line of a promise, a campaign promise, to say that that is his achievement. That is 1. 2, as we speak, the DCs are appointed. And when they are appointed, it is only the people of the political party that appointed him are able to go to his office to demand something. And so if we vote, we are going to deepen this. And that will not augur well for the opposition party members.
And your last point.
Oh,
so COVID time is really fast spent. So your last point, I know you have 4.
The last point is that the assembly members, as we speak, they are for all the people in the community, irrespective of your political party. When they are when we vote for them non-partisan lines, they serve all the political parties in their community.
And those are the reasons why you are for and no. Thank you very much, Kofi. Ishak, good morning.
My brother, good morning. My question is that anytime there will be an amendment, I am for no. Anytime there will be an amendment, it should solve a problem. But let's ask ourselves, what problem is this amendment actually solving on the ground? It is solving no problem. What that also means is that it's the political parties who will decide who we should vote for. Because voluntarily, everybody could come in. But right now, if we are 3 people in a party, and the party says this particular man should come in, what it means is that the rest of us will have to kowtow to the caprices and caprices of the party. So we have to wait. And then I have seen some assemblymen who have been on the assembly for about 2-3 consecutive terms. Sometimes in the party will not allow one person to go first term, second term, third term. And so when you go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, they want to by all means bring in a new face.
So you are for a no.
We're not going to allow competent people into our assembly.
Thank you very much, Ishak there. Let me now speak to Christoph. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, David Akwete. I think it's a good debate this morning, but I may not have enough time to give you lecture on why we should vote no, because it's going to be an indictment on our people down there. There's going to be a lot of sabotage and all that. Somebody was saying that when you look at the background of all the people who are contesting for the assembly, whatever, some will use NDC, but some will use NDC background. I think that the law has to work, because you are not to engage in party politicking in that grassroots level, and that's what we are all avoiding. That once we are going to vote, it means one time for MVP, I'm going to vote for that. So it will be like a skirt and blouse, where the president will be this, then the fellow there is another party.
I hear you.
And that is not going to augur well for our national development. So
thank you very much, Christoph. Let's speak to George Comfort.
Yeah, hello, good morning.
Yeah, George, good morning.
Yeah, I hope you're fine.
I am well.
Yeah. You see, David, the answer is totally no. Do you know why? You see, in assembly, if only they want to elect a presiding member, look what happened. And at the top there, we all know that we vote for a party to win. And when the party wins, you have the issue to appoint his leaders. So when you come down to district assembly and you got this partisan politics into this issue, it will become a big problem. Because if I have a problem and my government is not in power, and I send that problem, do you think that it will be addressed early than the one whose government is in power? So it should be totally no. I think that we should rather make it, we should want to be a 2-party state. That should be the best.
I hear you, George Comfort. Salifu, good morning, sir. Hello, Salifu.
Yes, I was. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Salifu. Welcome. Let's hear your thoughts on the debates that you just heard, of course, on the referendum.
My argument is going for Mr. Bewell, if I get the name right.
That's the name, yeah.
Yes. David, me, I'm in support with big. My vote is going for no. Why? Because if we vote yes, it will be like this MPP NDC issues is still going on, and there will not be. At first, when our community is too tidy, we used to call communal labor. Then people will come out and then whip the place. If we vote yes, this work that we've been doing, it will be NDC MPP. If it is MPP assemblyman who is around that area or unit committee, the other side will not go, and it will be affecting us.
So to you, it's a no. I hear you.
No.
I hear you. Sarah, good morning.
Good morning.
Let's hear your thoughts, Sarah.
Yes, my version is no. No, a very big no. I don't know if we are having any challenge with the current laws. Is anybody complaining? Nobody is complaining. Nobody is fighting that MCs and DCs are appointed. Nobody is complaining. So why do we spend so much in doing this referendum in the first place? And now, you see, you might not know, sometimes the chiefs and some elders in the communities are consulted before these DCs and MCs are appointed. Now, if it becomes solely a political, this thing, then we are going to neglect all the chiefs, all the elders, and then it will solely become politics. And look at the money that we will spend. And when they come to power, they will make sure they retrieve their money before they make their own profit, because at the end of 4 years, they might not know whether they will still retain power.
I hear you, Sarah.
I think it is no.
I hear you, Sarah.
No.
Thank you. A very big no, she says. Godfred, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, James.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, if Ghanaians are so much afraid of party politics among the people at the grassroots, then let's take it to the logical conclusion. Let's take it to the national level so that we go back to the union government idea. I've been talking about this union government idea for some time. If we believe that party politics is divisive, so we don't want it, then it should not be at the district level alone. It should go all the way to the national so that we go back to the union government idea.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Godfred, there. Let me speak to political thinker. Good morning.
Good morning, David. From where I find, I think, yes, it's not bad because the DCs, because they are always been appointed, even majority of we Ghanaians don't know even their responsibilities. And now MPs who are supposed to go to Parliament to enact good laws for us, they always, turn around and taking the responsibilities of the DCEs to do their campaigns. We heard from them all the time because they have neglected their responsibilities and they are now and they always talk the responsibilities of the DCEs.
So political thinker, what's your stand? Is it your stand yes or no?
Yes.
It's yes for you. Thank you very much, political thinker. Daniel of is it OG Designs? GOG Designs. GOG. Yeah, GOG.
Yeah.
Let's hear you.
Thank you very much, David. I am for no. My reason is, David, it's as if the politicians are not satisfied with the damage that they have done to this country. When this amendment is made, and that means they are going to enact a new law that will govern the election of these assembly people, are we not vigilant to consider that these people are going to then come out with some remuneration and bonuses for these assembly people? Already, taxes cry to Ghana Hano. Moody Piamo who can be a infrastructure project. And so you are coming down to this assembly level to chop every money that you get from there. Is that not true? No. We are going to vote no. Everybody should go and vote no. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much as well. Let's speak to our very final caller. He is Johnny. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Let's hear your thoughts.
Yes, a big no. So, David, those that are calling for the yes vote, this particular amendment is going to throw us into confusion and serious problem at the grassroots, at the villages. If you go to my village, the type of communal labor we call that, as some people call it no bar. Look, they say that if you are MPP, you don't attend NDC's communal labor. If the NDC man can call for no bar, you don't go. If we add this particular thing, it is going to cause a serious division and serious problems.
Johnny there, and Johnny says it's a no for him. Johnny, grateful for the call. We have got so many messages. I'm wondering how we will be able to deal with all these messages we have. This one is from lawyer Amasa. He says, I'm for a big no. And that's from lawyer Amasa. And my reasoning is simple. I want to enjoy my wachi devoid of political party influence. Well, things are changing at Barclays Bank Ghana. Now, as we get ready to change our name to ABSA, you'll start to see more of our new look whenever you visit a branch. That means a vibrant new red. This is warm and powerful. It's passionate and proud. A red inspired by the color that is woven through our African land and skies. Try one of our new look ATMs and experience the next step in our journey to ABSA. Our color may be new, but our commitment to you, our cherished customer, remains the same. Barclays is part of the ABSA family. Barclays Bank Ghana is a registered commercial bank. The Barclays brand is used and licensed. All right, so NGO, some more messages you can share with us from Facebook.
Yes, David, on Facebook, this one is from Mensa. It says, my honorable lecturer is on point. Lawyer Obri didn't convince anyone. His quote of the Constitution is rather supporting Bewell. And then she also goes on to say, so now we know that robbery is done in secret, so we should legalize it. Lawyer Obri, please come again. And then Ishak Salifu Acha says, watch my live and vote will go for big no. And then Kuma Isaac Akwesi says it's big no. And then Yao Kwe says the answer is 100% no. And then Glover Mafo Asamankes is a good submissions this morning.
Well, have you ever heard, prices going down? Certainly not. Prices always go up. They go up. Transportation goes up. Rent goes up. Electricity goes up. Now, you name it. But there is a good news for you. Our favorite ideal milk has reduced prices to 3 Ghana cedis per. Unbelievable, right? Yeah, it is too brutal. Now, your number one choice of milk is now more affordable than ever. So go ahead, enjoy your breakfast with your affordable ideal milk. Natural breakfast, no papebi. Add ideal, Ghana's favorite milk, to your beverages, your porridge, your cereals, and of course, your Gary Sokins. Because it is so brutal. It's only 3 Ghana cedis per. Even I can afford. How much more you? Andrew, any more messages, please?
Yes, David, on our WhatsApp line, it says most people are going to vote yes because they simply think voting no will prevent them from electing MDCEs, especially the laymen. Now, even the research conducted by IDEG showing 75% possibly voting yes is lack of understanding on the part of most of the voters. So there should be clarity in our communications, especially to the uneducated. I'm Nashiru Atitabiri from Boko.
Nice one there. We've got a few of your voice notes, but I'll keep them simple sometimes. Some of them are very long. But it looks as if, from what we've heard so far, the noes have it. Am I right, Lawyer Bree?
Yes. I think the noes have it. But seriously, I hope that the government in power will not panic and withdraw the referendum that is passed. Because I still feel that at the point of decision, people will vote for yes.
All right. So, Frital is on a search to unearth great talents in cooking, and it's on a mission to make dreams come true. Frital Enriching Lives competition is the best TV reality cooking show. The winner of this exciting TV reality show gets a life-changing award or reward of 100,000 Ghana cedis business investment. Yes, you heard right. 100,000 Ghana cedis business investment. Make a date with us every Saturday from November 16th between 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. only on Joy Prime. Frital Enriching Lives is brought to you by Frital. Frital Enriching Lives, unearthing talent, fulfilling dreams. Now, are you surprised that many are saying no, like you yourself?
I'm not surprised, Dave. I came across a research conducted sometime in 2017, and about 51% of those contacted were saying that they are not in support of assembly members being elected on party lines. So I'm not surprised, and I'm actually surprised that we are pushing this referendum.
Well, let's see how it goes.
But there's a new research we do for contrary.
Latest one.
Yes, because that was because there was misinformation. Because the new research, people didn't know whether it was about election of assembly members or the DCs.
Oh, then the same will apply to the old research.
But what I'm referring to in that research, about 70% actually supported the election of DCs, and then 51% were against the election of assembly members. So in that particular research, both questions were asked.
Okay, so let's see what happens on the 17th, because at least we need 40% voter turnout and 75% voters saying yes. Let's see what happens on the 17th.
Let's encourage all our listeners to make themselves available to vote, not just on radio. Voting no on radio.
One more message from
Yes. Well, there's this very interesting message. It says the Constitution provides for multi-party democracy, but in practice we are seeing only 2. So does that suggest that we should go for a referendum to make it a 2-party state? He says it's a big no.
Thank you very much, Lawyer Bray, and of course, thank you very much, Lawyer Daniel Bewell. I'm grateful for your time with us this very morning, and of course, those of you who listened to the show this morning, we are very grateful and thankful as well. I'm sure that, Lawyer, like you're very much aware, we have Kumasi Warships coming up this very Friday. It's my desire to hope to see you there, actually, both of you. So if you don't mind, let's meet on Friday at Bantama Pentecost and worship the Lord God together. So thank you very much for your time. Now,
the last is want to see you crying.
Don't mind that. No, he hasn't been in the space before. And so that's why he's saying the thing he does all the time. But trust me, it's a very beautiful feeling, and I wouldn't mind crying again at all. For God. But coming up your way this very morning is we're asking the question how efficient the civil service is in Ghana. And so on Monday and Tuesday, some team members of ours visited the ministries, civil service institutions, and recorded some conversations. Now we're going to share those conversations with you as they visited the Lands Commission, the Birth and Death, the Registrar General, and of course the Ghana Revenue Authority. All that coming up your way on the conversation dubbed How Efficient is the Civil Service?
Lift your voice with me tonight. Lord, we lift our hands in worship as we bless you. You deserve the glory and the honor. Hey. Lord, we lift our hands in worship as we bless you. Say, for you are great. Come on. You do miracles. Nobody else. Nobody else like you. Hey. Raposa. You are great, Lord. You do miracles. You do miracles so great. There is no nobody else. There is. Why ye Erin Sada? Why ye Erin Sada? Yes, way. Why my faithfulness, oh God, my Father, and there is no shadow of turning. For thou changest not, thy compassion they fail not. And as thou hast been, thou forever. So great is thy faithfulness. While the grateful people in the house, great is. Come on, tell them tonight. Say, morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, all I ever needed, thy hands have provided. And you mean, and me, and you know, and you know, and me, and you know. Kumasi, for Kumasi people, I am coming to Kumasi. Guess what is happening is Kumasi worships on the 22nd of November. I'm joining Niokai, Joe Metal, Anklato, Akesi Brimpo, a host of music ministers to join you, worship God, and sing some of your favorite songs to praise our risen Lord. Remember, we have a date in Kumasi, Kumasi worships. My name is Koda. Bless you.
Osei is real, read my lips. New Kind and friends are storming Kumasi 22nd November, Friday, 6 p.m. Bantama Pentecost is going to be a swell time. Join us, let's save a heart. I'm doing this with Love FM, and it's going to be the biggest thing that ever happened to you, the best experience you ever had in this month of November. Catch us there, get your ticket. It will run out very soon. Get your tickets, join us. Friday, 6 p.m., 22nd November, Bantama Pentecost. See you there with all my friends. Joe Metal, Koda, Akesi Brimpong, Ganklato, and many more. See you there. Cheers.